Welcome to the course Introduction to Azure. I'm your instructor, Corey Hines. To give you a little background on where I come from, I'm a subject matter expert for Microsoft, a Microsoft MVP in data center and cloud automation. Do a lot of things with Microsoft. Been working with the technology now for a number of years, ranging from database administrators to I was once a professional developer, but most of my work's been done around building, managing, deploying data centers and large environments. So this course, we're going to kind of look at the largest of the large environments, which is Microsoft Azure. So to begin, let's take a look at the agenda for the course. So there's 5 major things in this course. Number 1, we'll introduce cloud computing. We want to get an idea of, what is cloud computing? Why does it matter? Why do we care? And this is not just as it relates to Microsoft's implementation of cloud computing, which is of course Azure, but this applies to Amazon, Google, to all the third-party big and small cloud providers that are out there, so you understand, what is the whole excitement around cloud? Why do we care? Why do we want to get involved? Then we'll look at Azure's version of cloud. What does cloud mean to Microsoft? What does Azure provide? What are the solutions it gives you? And then start looking at the basics, the kind of the intro on how we think about managing Azure. We're obviously not going to get into building applications for Azure because this is focused for IT professionals, but we're going to look at things like, what are the portals? There are 2 Azure portals. Why are there 2? What do you use one for versus the other? What can you do in one versus the other? And what are the fundamental differences? We'll also look at the 2 major management and deployment models for Azure, something called Azure Service Management and Azure Resource Management. Now, these are very different. They relate to the portals that you use. They relate to the way that you create and manage objects. It's important to mention now that the bulk of what we're going to focus on in this and the related courses is the ARM method, the Azure Resource Manager method of deploying objects within Azure. And then finally, Azure PowerShell. Now, I've said, if you've ever seen me teach a course or attended one of my sessions, in order for you to be successful in the world today in IT, you've got to have a fundamental understanding of PowerShell. Azure's no exception. A lot of what you do in Azure can only be done in PowerShell. There's a lot you can do in the portals, but Azure is a very PowerShell first platform. You can first do things in PowerShell, and then the most common things that you can do in PowerShell evolve into Azure. So we're going to be looking at these 5 topics over the duration of this course.